They tried to make it work. I am Chris with the Joshi Wrestling Recap for TJPW February 19th, 2022, available on Wrestle Universe. TJPW tried their best despite the circumstances, but this was a down show for me. Many of the members on the roster were not on the show, those being Raku, Rika Tatsumi, Nidoka Tenma, Yuka Sakazaki, Miyu Yamashita, and Maki Ito. That is one half of the tag champs, the international champ, and the Princess of Princess champion not on the show. With almost a quarter of the roster missing, this show felt low energy and the audience didn't help. At one point there was an audience member asleep in view of camera. This was a multi-camera show with no commentary. Miya Watanabe started the show singing her entrance music. We opened with a singles match between Mahiro Kyoru and Arisu Endo. This match was fine, and they started with some locks and holds. Arisu Endo's growth is noticeable and she looks more comfortable with mat work. Near the end it looked like Endo may win. She had a deep Kalma clutch on Mahiro, but Mahiro Kyoru was able to escape and hit a nice spine buster on Arisu Endo for the pinfall win. The second match was Pom Harajuku vs Moka Miyamoto. Pom had a strategy for this match. Don't let Moka hit you. And the match started with Pom dodging Moka's attempts to tie up, and this worked for a bit before Moka landed some forearms. Throughout the match, Pom had control, I guess you could call it that, and there were a few times when Moka was able to get some body slams, a leg lariat, or a karate strike to land that Pom was in trouble, but she would escape using usually a well-timed shin kick. Pom Harajuku was able to get her trump card to land, the most protected move in TJPW, the Pom Do Justice, and got the victory over Moka Miyamoto. The next match was a singles match between Hyper Masao and Haruna Neko. Hyper Masao came to the ring wearing a cattail and ears like Haruna Neko. Hyper Masao then asked for the mic and demanded that she be introduced as Neko Masao. Haruna Neko didn't like that and attacked. This match was probably my favorite of the show. Masao and Neko have decent chemistry, and the first section of the match was fun with Masao trying to use moves Neko does, but failing, and Neko would show her how it's done. But Hyper Masao was much more experienced and stronger than Haruna Neko. Masao cut Haruna Neko's pounce, and after a bit more offense, won with the final cut for a pinfall win. The fourth match was a trios match between Naoki Kuda, Yuki Kamifuku, and Kaya Toribami. When the match started, both Yuki and Nao tried to get Kaya to team up with them against the other, but Kaya took too long to decide who she wanted to join, so they just shoved Kaya away and attacked each other. Kaya Toribami was the third wheel in this match. Both Yuki Kamifuku and Naoki Kuda didn't see her as a threat. They did give Kaya a chance a couple times in the match, and she did hit some nice drop kicks on both. Naoki Kuda even used an eye poke on Yuki Kamifuku. Naoki Kuda isn't afraid to fight a bit dirty. Naoki Kuda did win the match, it was a bit sudden. Yuki Kamifuku was hit off the apron onto the floor, and now was able to hit her backpack stunner on Kaya Toribami for a pinfall win. The next match was another of the farewell matches of Marika Kobashi. Last time it was Miyu Yamashita, this time it was Shoko Nakajima. The match started with some pretty smooth mat work by both. Much like Marika's match with Miyu, Shoko felt pretty dominant. Marika Kobashi did get some nice chops and leg lariats in, but Shoko Nakajima would cut her off after not too long and string together some offense. There was also a top corner Hurricanrana that I was surprised they did in this match. After a final flurry of attacks by Marika Kobashi, Shoko Nakajima put the match away with a DDT followed by a top rope senton for the pinfall win. That brings us to the main event, a trios match between the teams of Mizuki, Yukirai, and a returning Hikari Noa, versus the team of Miya Watanabe, Yuki Aino, and Tsuzume. This was a good match, and Hikari seemed fine after her absence. The team of Mizuki, Hikari, and Yukirai did smartly tag in and out often during the match. No one was in the ring for long, and that strategy helped them against their opponents. There were no weak points for either team. Everyone was good and shone for spots. Miya Watanabe got Yukirai in a giant swing. Hikari Noa's machine gun drop kicks are always fun. Yuki Aino showed off her strength. Mizuki's kick-through spot on the ropes always looks lethal, and Yuki Arai more than held her own in this match and injected some much-needed emotion. The match ended in a rare for TJPW time-limit draw while Yuki Arai and Miya Watanabe dodged each other's finishers. Unlike Stardom, TJPW rarely does time-limit draws, so when the bell rang, I was a bit surprised. They seem to be hinting at a Miya Watanabe Yuki Arai program for the future, which, if this does happen, should be very good. As for the show in a whole, I try to be positive, but this was a rare TJPW show that I felt was blah. Many of the wrestlers who missed this show will miss the next one also. I hope they bring in some freelancers to help fill the card with more experience, otherwise the next show on the 23rd may suffer the same fate. That or be open to some gimmick matches to liven it up. This was a Joshi Wrestling recap for TJPW, February 19th, 2022. Thanks for listening.